Nice to meet you. What's feeling now after a long flight?
A bit tired, but happy to be here, and yeah, it's a very nice experience for me. Second time in Beijing in a few months, so I'm very happy to be here.
You look so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think after retirement, your life is great.
Yeah, life is very good. I feel happy. It's been difficult after the injury in January and the last few months with the elbow. It's been very difficult. But after that, I started to be reasonable and say, okay, tennis, it's been great, but now unfortunately or fortunately, it's time to something else. And day after day, I decided to be into my new life. I lost a lot of weight, muscles of course, but I lost 10 kilos, and I feel happy, I feel in shape, and it's good to live something different. So I feel very great about that.
So your second retirement is so suddenly, I think. So for most of people, for fun, so it's a hard decision for you.
It was very hard. If I look back last year in Wimbledon, already at the French Open, it was painful, and then in Wimbledon I fell down, and it was major injury, and the doctors told me you have 50% of chances to come back on the tour, and because with the surgery it's finished for you. So I started to work and to play again after 4 months, and in December I was here in Beijing to practice, but I felt it was going to be very difficult because it was painful, and in Australia I broke it again. So when I went back to Belgium, the doctors told me there was too much damage. I've been unlucky, so it was very sad, but there was the question of the surgery, but they didn't give me a lot of chance to come back. And it would have been 1 year of re-education and everything. So it was a tough choice, but I think it was the good one. And it is very sad, but if I look back at my career, I have no regrets about anything. I gave my best for many years. I wasn't that tall, that strong as the other players, and I still have been able to win Grand Slams, to be number one, and to win the gold medal, and it was much more than what I could expect. So now I can look back and say I'm happy about what I did.
Yeah, you have so much amazing achievements. So you have that Grand Slam champion, gold medal, or your Fed Cup and the world number one.
Yeah.
So which one do you think is the most special for you?
Well, it's very hard to pick up one, but I would say the Olympic gold medal in Athens was something very special, as I was out for a few months because of a virus that year, and I said, well, I go just to live the experience, but no expectations about any results. And then I started to feel the energy of the Belgian delegation, and my country was behind me, and match after match I started to feel very well, and then this amazing comeback again with Kina in the semi-final, and it was something. Well, I felt the energy of my country, and that was fantastic. And except that, I would say my first French Open in 2003, as it was a dream that was coming true. I always dreamed of winning the French Open. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be there. I wanted to win. I wanted to become number one. And when I did it, it was just at the moment I didn't really realize it's more than today, and I can see all the long way, the hard way it was, but a lot of satisfactions, of course.
Yeah, in your generation, there are a lot of great players. Serena, Venus, Kim. So who do you think is the best player?
It's been, I would say the 2010 years have been fantastic for the tour, as you had the Williams sisters that really helped the game to come to another level, as they pushed us to become stronger, become better, become faster. So I think that the level of women's tennis really reached another level at that time. It was still, it was Davenport, Capriati, Hingis, Sharapova, Kim. These years have been fantastic for the game, as the concurrence was very high, and you never knew. Serena was the best, and we were all running after her just to beat her, and that was fantastic. I think now maybe women's game it's a little more difficult moment for the game, but I'm sure the next generation is going to be very good too.
Yeah. What has been your most memorable tournament?
Most memorable moment on the tour or in what I lived, it was it's very hard. I mean, I lived so many moments, good and bad. I think more than the second when you win a Grand Slam, more than that, it was in practice when I was with Carlos in practice, and I was trying to get better on every shot, and sometimes I was in doubt because everything wasn't for sure going well. So and the day after you come back on the court and you try to work better, and it's painful in muscles, burning, and it's tough. But I did love this moment very much because there was the reason why I got all these results. So the results is just the end of something, but just the preparation and the hard work, I would keep that. In terms of emotions, when I won my first Grand Slam at the French Open, I went back to Brussels and I went on the major place in Brussels, the Grand Place, and 10,000 people were waiting for me and to celebrate me, and it was something very, very strong.
You mentioned your first Grand Slam champion.
Mm-hmm.
So this year in French Open, you
Mm-hmm.
know Lina.
Lina, first Grand Slam, yeah.
So how do you think?
Well, it's been, but we could feel it was going to be the year of her, because already the Australian Open final, and she won the first set. I watched that match, of course, and in Paris I didn't watch a lot of games in the last few months, but that game I watched it because I felt it was going to be an important moment for not only for tennis in China but for China in general, and I think she has a lot of talent, she has the mentality, and I think she still can improve, of course, but we could feel the emotion, and I like the emotion in the sport. We could feel it, and it was a magnificent moment.
And this year's China Open will be a prize, the MVP of Chinese player. Yeah, the best performance.
Sorry?
MVP prize of the best performance of the Chinese player.
That's, of course, fantastic.
Who do you think can win this prize?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the best will win,
maybe
of course.
Maybe Lina or Zheng Jie?
Probably, yeah, but they all have different qualities. They all have talent, but Lina is probably actually the best of it.
And talk about your school. So, the 60 cents and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have the idea to build up a school to...
Well, it was a long time ago, and I started the Six Sense Academy is born in Belgium. A few years ago, I decided to buy a big club, a tennis club in Belgium, and we wanted with Carlos to. Of course, we didn't know that our relationship as coach and player would have an end, of course, and we wanted to try a way to keep going with our relation, and also to keep going in. I mean, even if it's over for me as a player, maybe we can give something to the young kids and to the next generation. And so I did buy this club, and then we started to put this academy. It started slowly in Belgium, and then in the States, and then in China. So we're very happy. The philosophy is, of course, it's not only about champions. Of course, we know that only a few players can become champions, but I think it's a great school of life, and that's what we want to say. I mean, when you do sport, you can learn a lot about your values and just your resources and your limits, and to push back your limits, and I think it's the best school of life. So that's what we try to teach in our academy, even if they don't reach the top. But if they learn something about themselves, I think the goal is good.
Yeah. So, would you like to join the coach team?
I'm sorry?
Would you like to join?
As a coach, I wouldn't say I would be on the court, every day trying to work about the technique and everything. But first, the academy is two different things. It's a part is completely, if you want to play tennis for fun, and the other part is really for the elite. They want to do competition, and I just try to just talk to the kids about the experience I got, and just try to give them the motivation, help them to push their limits a little more. So it's not really I'm going to talk about technique or anything, but I like to talk with them, to go running with them, so we can talk about how hard it is to become a champion. Make sure they do everything they can to reach their dreams, and what I can give is over there, I think, in terms of sharing my experience of the past.
A lot of young players of China want to take part in tennis, so they want to play tennis. So can you give some experience or?
I'm not quite sure there are many advices we can give, but I'm sure one thing is working. If you want to do something, just give your best to do it. And there are, all the dreams are very good, and I think it's important to have fun. I mean, playing tennis was also my job, but it was first a passion, and I think if you have the passion in anything, in any kind of job at school or for tennis, if you have the passion, then you have to do it. But also, it's very important that tennis is a very small world. The world is big, and it's very important to stay and to remain open to all the things we can learn, and not only in the tennis game.
So next week you will go to take part in activity. Yeah, there travel to summit of Kunlun Mountain. So have you experienced in so high?
No, never. I've been skiing 3,200 meters last year, so over there it's going to be higher, and I'm a bit scared about how I'm going to react and everything. I have a lot of asthma, so I hope it's going to be fine, but it's going to be, I heard it's a very special place, and also about the spirit over there, and I'm very excited to go and live this experience, and try to promote the tennis also over there. That will be nice for us.
Yeah, have you tried some Chinese food?
I like a lot Chinese food, more in China than in Belgium, of course. But I just landed this morning, so tonight maybe I'll try that. But last time when I was here in December, I just ate a lot of typical food, and I like it a lot. I think it's very healthy, and I like healthy food. That's good.
Yeah, for Chinese player, health is more important. How to keep health? So, like, what would you drink?
Well, drinking a lot of water, but not only for athletes, maybe more for athletes than for others, but we should all drink more water. Here you do that because it's very humid, but in Europe I think we don't drink enough water, but of course it's one of the key, and then it's just to have the good balance in your diet. I mean, it's very important. There are big directions that you have to take about your nutrition. I never eat the sugar after having dinner, for example. For athletes, a lot of pasta, vegetables, and something light but consistent at the same time. So, but it's very personal, because what works for me maybe doesn't work for someone else. So, but I did pay a lot of attention to that when I was playing, and still today, because I wanna feel well.
Have you some plan to travel in China, in Peking?
We're gonna, in a few days when we come back from Tibet, gonna visit a little bit, but in Beijing, because I don't know Beijing enough, so we're just gonna maybe go to the Great Wall and just move a little bit, but I don't know Asia that well, so I should, now it's really, now that I'm off tennis, I want to travel a lot to discover the world. I have the passion of the traveling and meet people and different cultures, so now that I have the time to do it, I'm going to try to do it more in the future.
You have a lot of fans of China, so would you like to say something to them?
That they gave me a lot of support when I was playing. I know I've always been famous here in China. Even if I never played really tournaments here, on my website I was receiving a lot of messages from China, and I felt a lot of energy from that. So thanks for the support, and now it's time to give that energy to the next young players for the future.
There is a traditional gift of Kunlun Mountains. Yes. Yeah, it's a traditional gift
Thank
for
you
you.
very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.